Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So can I share now?
No, after I introduce.
Okay.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Early Childhood Education Foundation trainings and sessions. First of all, we welcome all experts, researchers, and those interested in early childhood stage. This session today is about the positive effects of nature on children, including increasing social interaction, greater attention capacities, and higher academic performance. So we are going to be with the session guest. She has a great interest in early childhood and research into the impact of nature on children. Mrs. Sima Ibrahim, she is an international member of Early Childhood Education Foundation in Egypt. She is working as an education and intervention specialist and a PD specialist of CDA Council as well. She has an expertise from many years as an early childhood consultant. Moreover, she has worked as a day caring provider since last 26 years. So now we are very honored to be with Mrs. Sima Ibrahim from USA with her fabulous and legendary workshop under the title Enhance Social Emotional Language Development in Children, Experience with Nature and Outdoor Play. Now the floor is yours, Mrs. Sima.
Thank you very much for a very kind introduction. I appreciate it, Ismat. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Welcome everyone to my session. And I think I should start my presentation and sharing with you all.
All the best.
Thank you so much. As you all know that today's topic is experiencing nature and outdoor play enhances social and emotional development in children. It's a vast topic, and I'll try my level best to do the justice. Thank you very much, everyone coming to attend my session on Saturday. I deeply appreciate it. Okay.
We are so pleased with you.
She has introduced me very well, so I don't need to introduce myself anymore. Today's learning enhances our develop an awareness of the benefits of experiencing nature and outdoor play in the lives of children, and learn nature-related activities to enhance social and emotional and linguistic development, evaluating how nature affects the quality of learning environment. As Richard Louv said, both of them without each other are inseparable, are of no use. But nowadays, we have become a society of indoor living and do not understand how important it has the impact on our physical, mental, and emotional health. We are becoming a static indoor living society nowadays. We see nature through the eyes of TV and media. We do not understand the experience that we have or the children get from a hands-on experience learning or remember. We avoid being outside because of several different factors, which are to some extent true: traffic, fear of safety, workload, lack of time, academic pressures on children to get our studies done and then see how much we can do the academic abilities to just get into the higher academic universities and get the best jobs. But is it all that we need? for our life. We have to have understanding. The concepts should be clear of the children, of the learn, of the world. We take nature as taken for granted, and spending time outdoors is like a wasted time nowadays. Think about yourself when we were children. We used to play outside, and those learnings are with us till today. We do not take it as taken for granted when we were young. Lots of good, wonderful people and researchers have been studying the behaviors of children and found out that children who are less outdoors or do not experience nature are less confident, less more stressful, and less creative. And their academic levels are lower and later in life. We think that the more we study and the more we get, we are getting higher academics. No, actually, the less we are outdoors, the academic grades are less and they are lower. Also, the physical and mental and health issues increase when we are not outdoors. It is researched, and it has been said that myopia, the nearsightedness, is linked to the children due to being not less outdoors in nature. Hearing, vision, sense of smell, all these problems are linked for not being outdoors in nature. This is how we do it. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of the strength that will endure as long as life lasts, as Rachel Carson said. To bring them out, we ourselves have to be outdoors in the nature. In the slide, as you say, that we all are laying down on the grass and we are feeling how the Mother Earth is hugging us. To bring them out, as we have to come out and respect nature and love nature. Only then the children are gonna love nature and respect nature and understand the connection between us and nature. Because as we all know, the children learn from seeing their environment and from other adults. Like yesterday, Catherine was mentioning that little children are learning from their outer experiences. So if we are not giving them any experience of loving nature or being connected with nature, how are they gonna learn to love and respect nature? Children watch us. They do what they see, and they are learning to believe what is based on our actions. When we say let them experience nature, what does come to your mind? What do you think? Let's let them take outside and let them experience nature? No, actually, this is not how it is. Let children explore the mysteries of the wild world of nature. Go for rain walks and let children experience the raindrops, jump in puddles, becoming wet from the rain, lay on grass, watch clouds, watch and listen to the birds. This is what nature means. And not only them, we adults have to be with them. Nature and a human are made for each other. And nature is everywhere. It is not just we have to go for hiking or for day trips or for somewhere and spend a lot of money. It's not like that. It's everywhere. The water that we drink, the air that we breathe, the smell of the air as the raindrops fall on the ground with the first rain, that's what it is, the smell. You guys must have understand and feel it. That's how you're gonna tell the children that how it is. In the smell of the air, the raindrops, the mud, the sound of the birds, the cricketers, that when at nighttime the crickets chirp, that's nature. That's all is nature. It is everywhere. We do not have to do anything. Let children experience the gifts of Mother Nature. For that, we do not have to go to jungles or somewhere else. Let them explore nature. Children need unstructured time to play, explore, and discover. Let the children become part of nature. And it can only happen when we all are becoming part of nature. Let them experience the sunset, the sunrise, twilight, night walks, being near a stream or river, enjoy camping in woods. And it doesn't have to be camping in woods if you cannot have resources to go somewhere farther. You can even camp outside in your backyard. Plant a vegetable garden. Let children touch and feel snails, frogs, and watch bugs. You must have noticed that whenever a child sees some bug or some frog, they will just follow them, don't they? And even a little baby, if you see some ant, they will just critter around and they will follow that bug. But when we say, stop, 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 don't do that, don't follow that, it's gonna be dangerous, you are just crushing that creativity and exploration among a child. And that is not good for their learning. This nature is meant to be a teacher. So let it be a teacher. It is not hard to become a part of a nature. Let children explore nature. Like in this slide, they are all my students and they are just exploring nature, and the girl in the green jacket is just exploring that tree. There are some bark coming off of the tree that fell off of the ground from due to some storm. And the other slide, the little girl is not even a year old, and she's helping the other child laying down the vegetable garden that they were planning. Definitely with our help. We teachers are there to facilitate them, not to impose our thoughts on them. We have to be the teachers, thinking like an adult and behaving like them. So we are part of their team. So they don't feel like we are just imposing our learning thing on them. In later slides, you will see how it is. Let these children feel the nature. In both the slides, you will see how involved the kids are. The little girl under there, she's just touching the stream and feeling how the waves come to the shore, and she just feels it. And that is learning. When we say, oh, don't do that, your hands are gonna get cold or you're gonna get wet, you're crushing their learning, you're crushing their exploratory, you're crushing their inquisitivity or creativity. The little boy is not even a year old. When we went to the park, and he was so happy touching that moss on the trunk of the tree, and he was exploring those sense of touch, the feelings, the exploration is amazing, and that's how it's gonna stay with them forever. Both children are completely absorbed in their experiences. Right in this slide, you will see when we were going out for the rain walk, none of the weathers stop us from going outside unless we adults don't want to go outside. If the children are dressed appropriately, they can go out, or unless it has been recommended to the extreme weathers that this is the time of the weather that they should not be going out. So right here, the rainwater was going into the train, and the sound was becoming like a musical, and they were listening to it. And in the later slide, you will see that this second slide, this little boy has just forgotten about his umbrella and said, who cares about the umbrella? And he was just into the learning thing, the sound of the raindrop and the water going into the train. It was making a music. They were enjoying listening to the musical sound of water. They're just 2 and 3 years old. And this little child usually when the kids are out there, mothers are very much concerned, oh, the clothes are dirty, they're getting fussy, they're getting dirty. but teachers have to be there just to facilitate them for their learning. It's not that they are not gonna learn or just keep them clean. Think about it. This little young child is my son, my firstborn, and I knitted this whole dress for him. And I could have said, oh my goodness, I knitted it with so much love and care. But think about it. The learning that he's getting from there is never gonna be washed away. It will stay with him for life. And he is 38 and he is still an explorer and he is still a very much of a big time nature lover. But that clothes and his hands and his shoes can be washed or can be replaced, but the learning stays with him. And that teaches them to love and explore. Mother Nature brings joys to all of the children. Think about it, how children are happier. Look at their faces. In the second slide, when they are all together, they are dropping little leaves and rocks inside their drain. And the sound of dropping those things in the water makes them think that bigger things make a bigger sound, smaller things make a smaller sound. That's how the learning goes on. And when they are outside, they're more cooperative. They help each other instead of just fight each other. Same group of children, if you keep them inside for 1 hour and they will start fighting over some things that, oh, I want this, I want that, and then pulling each other or fighting with each other or biting things starts or whatnot. But when they are outside, they are very cooperative. They make their rules and they follow those rules. They're more empathetic towards each other. They're more helpful to each other. That's how that learning is going on. And they're more relaxed. Look at that boy who was just inside the fall leaves and he was happy. Let children enjoy all weathers. Weathers never stop us going outside. And these kids are not even 1 year old, and the other ones are bigger, 3.5, and they all are having fun outside and exploring and rolling, how the kids are rolling in the snow, how the snow feels, how it protects them, what is going on, that in their mind, that the connections, the brain development is processing in such a fast speed. When the baby is born, 25% of brain development is there. But within these 5 years of their early age, 90% of brain development happens. And that's how their learning goes on. If we provide them the experiences, hands-on experiences, if we just keep them inside and sit in front of the technology or the TV or just being indoors, how are they gonna learn? How are they gonna experience things? In summertime, when we go outside, it was all completely by themselves. That this tree was alone from a bunch of the trees. And one of the little girls, she just went and hugged the tree that, oh, you're all by yourself. I am your friend. And once she did it, rest all the kids followed her and they all hugged him. And later every day they used to go out and say, let's see our friend tree. And how is he doing? And then they keep watching the tree for the whole year, how the seasons change, how the trees drop their leaves in the fall time, how snow time, winter time, it is all completely barren. Then in springtime, how the little leaves come out. And in summertime, it gives a lot of shade and green. In the other slide, you will see how the kids are walking in a stream barefoot. Did you notice? They are all bare feet. The thing was going on when the teacher becomes the most silly, like I become the most silly person and unknowledgeable. But we teachers have to think like an adult and behave like them to be in their team so they can communicate with us better. So when they ask some questions, I am not against technology, but I say technology should be used in a proper way and in the right time. So whenever they ask me a question, the thing started when we were going outside for the walk. I said, put on your shoes, and they all said, but the animals don't put shoes on. They are fine. Why should we put on shoes? And I said, well, good question. So let's go see. Instead of right away explaining it to them that, oh, the deer have hooves and the bunnies have harder soles and all that kind of stuff, I said, let's see. Let's Google it. Why they don't wear shoes? So we did it. And I was holding the pad and I was noting down the points, whatever they were asking. And later I said, how do I trust this technology? I don't know if it is true or not. Let's go outside and explore. And they all agreed. So we knew the footprints of the bunnies, the deer, the other animals, the cat, and the squirrels, and the birds. And then we went outside and saw on the dirt if there are some things and why they don't need shoes and why do we need shoes. You will not believe, all day we were outside bare feet on all kind of grounds, like gravel in the stream, on the grass, on the dirt, on the cement, on the gravel, on mud, because the whole day we spent outside bare feet. None of the children got hurt. None of the children got any splinters in their feet. How and why? Because they were more focused, because they were just paying more attention, and they were very careful, and they were thinking how it feels. So all these things are the learning. They were learning a lot. And later, when it was time to come inside, we just jot down all our experiences. I was the one who was taking the notes, and they all were giving me their experiences and why. And they agreed, yes, now we understand how animals don't need, because while being outside, we were talking about the hooves of the animal and the feet of the dog and the cat and the bird, all those kind of things, and that made them learn, not just by my experience, but by their own experience, and those learnings stay with them forever. Children are happier and more creative outdoors. The more they interact with nature, the better learners they are. Nature relaxes them. They're more cooperative outdoors. All these children are very young, not more than 3.5 years old. And they all were just playing together all the time. And this thing is learning. This little girl in the second leaf, they will just throw the leaves, and how the leaf come down. The bigger leaves come down different way, the smaller leaves come down different way, and all that kind of stuff. And in the upper slide, you will see all the tree branches are on a slide. And that's how they wanted it, to build a tree house. And I said, okay, fine, whatever. So my neighbor was pruning their trees. So they went and asked them, can I have this branch that you are? And he said, happily, take it over, because he didn't have to just chop them and throw them in the garbage. Later, my husband had to do it. So that's how they pulled it. They didn't ask anything. They all were very cooperative. They pulled all those branches, put them up there. Only one branch that was a bigger one, he asked for my help, that can you please pull this? And they did it. And they played for a few days with it till all the leaves got dried and it was completely dried. They had their own house, they had their own thinking going on, and they made their own rules and regulations and played. Child's play is not just all fun and games. Rather, the act of play is a crucial component in the growth and development of the brain. And it collaboratively develops the brain, the body, and the intellect. It works together. When they are doing it, the game, outdoor game, this is how the brain development happens. It's a very crucial component. Studies of how young people learn have proven that children especially acquire knowledge experientially through play, experimentation, and exploration and discovery. So in all these, both slides and many other previous slides, you will see how they are learning, they're experiencing, and they're exploring, and they are discovering. There are three kinds of contacts with nature that are involved: direct contact, indirect contact, and vicarious contacts. Direct contacts are the ones that are as spontaneous and unplanned in unimagined areas such as meadows, a creek, a forest, a park, or a child's backyard, where they can muck around, get wet, get dirty, and catch things and critters and all that stuff. And during this direct contact, the five senses of touch, smell, vision, hearing, and taste develop. Touch, smell, vision, taste, and hearing, they all develop when they are directly in contact with nature. Let them touch the bugs. So many parents I've seen, even in my daycare, that they say, "Oh, they're touching snails, yuck, ah." Well, don't say it to the children. They're harmless. They're not touching the snake or something. They're just snails, the bugs, the frogs, the little bugs. This little two children are looking at the rotten log that was in our backyard that I kept it there. So when you flip the rock, you will see there are the marks of the bugs there and all that stuff. And they were very interested that how on the log there are marks of a snail. And the little boy, he was having a kind of a slimy feeling of a snail in his hands. Whenever we go outside, I do not rush them to get out from the walk. Let them explore, let them learn. Look into their faces, how they are deeply feeling it, connected with the nature. The children on the tree, every day they make up a new story. Someday it is a horse, someday it is a swing, someday it is a dinosaur, and they explore that tree and make up their own stories and their own, they have their own vision or something. And the little girl is experiencing the smell. That's how they develop their senses, the motor skills, the sense of smell is developing. The sense of touch is developing. Sense of seeing is developing. And she said, I remember she said that this does not smell like roses, because usually inside the house, we bring the bouquets and we have the common smells, but this smell is different. And that's how they develop the sense of smell. Let children be out and get dirty. Let them play in dirt and catch critters. Let babies be outside. Nowadays we say, don't go. And especially nowadays, you see, when you put the babies on the grass, they just crunch up and say, ah. Why? Because we are not letting our infants on the ground just like that. Let them touch and feel the grass. That sense of touch makes them, make all their connections develop. The brain connections are developing at that time, when they are touching things, when they are just feeling the things. And this green grass helps in their vision. The same stream that you saw in the previous slide, where kids were walking bare feet, this is the same stream. And at this time, summertime, it dried because there was no rain. So that's how they were learning that this stream, when it rains, it is full of water, and now it doesn't have any water, and what is going on, where are the bugs, and all that stuff. And the pebbles, they were picking up the pebbles and rocks. So all the learning is going on. Little ones needs to be out on a grass and feel the nature too. Enjoy the sprinklers. and the smelling of flowers, as we did before. Right? I was there. The adults need to be there, but do not impose. Do not say, stop, don't touch, don't do this, don't do that. Stop. But yes, we have to be there so they don't do anything wrong. Like this little boy, he was just very much involved in looking at that flower. And then all of a sudden he just tried to put it in his mouth to touch or eat. And I said, you don't put it in your mouth, animals eat it. We eat cooked food, and that's how I explained it to them, that we eat vegetables and fruits, but don't eat flowers or grass. And the little girl was enjoying so much, just in a hose of water, just the sprinkler, and we can do it anyway. We don't need to spend money or a lot of time if we don't have time to go out somewhere. Second form of contact is an indirect contact, which is very much important in today's culture, to let children experience nature at least through indirect contact, as long as you cannot take them out. But if you can, that is the best. You can have those kind of indirect experiences in hiking in the controlled environment, like human management and intervention is involved, structured, planned and organized at a zoo, botanical garden, nature centers, museums, domestic pets, household plants, vegetable garden. Interaction with creatures and habitats require human input and control where it is needed. So this is how we are gonna say that we cannot be just outdoors, wherever whatever they want to do it. That is direct contact, but indirect contact is a controlled contact, and that is better than nothing. So like in this slide, you will see this little boy is amazed, like he's saying, but I am holding this stick and he's not supposed to touch that. This child is completely amazed while observing this little caterpillar, and I was explaining it to him, the colors, the fuzz, and what are you doing? What do you see it? What do you see? I have been giving him lots of open-ended questions like, what do you see? How does it work? And all those questions. And he was asking me lots of questions too. And he was the one who pointed out, look at those orange dots on this caterpillar, and that matches my shirt. And I said, yeah, you're right. That matches your shirt. And it did. So you see, math, science, observation, all these things are going on, how the caterpillar is walking. And then I said later in transformation, I read them the story, the hungry caterpillar, and then that's how the caterpillar turns into a butterfly. But yeah, I was holding this caterpillar because I did not know if that can be poisonous or if it can give some rash to the child or something, so it has to be controlled. But they are experiencing all indirect contact of nature. We have to open the doors for them to explore and think about the wonders of nature. Let them explore, let them think about it. The only pet that we have, contact with them also relaxes them. And but this is my bird, this is my pet, so I will be very careful that they do not do any harm to the bird, or the bird does not do any harm to the child. But this is a very calming bird. This little boy had a Tourette disease, and he would get so anxious, and then he will move hard since his child, very, very infancy. But only when he's so hard, if he's not getting what he wants, or if something is going against his wish, that's how he would bounce and bounce and bounce. And only way my bird, his name is Tobo, can calm him down. And look, both of the bird and the child are so much connected, how closely they are calming or relaxing each other. And same in the vegetable garden, with the help of adults, the children developed it, and organized the whole vegetable garden. They were so keen every morning coming and who will water the plant, who will weed the garden, and who will pick the garden vegetables. If they are not vegetables are not ready, they will measure it, how big they are, how plants are big, and what are they doing, or if some animal has eaten them. That was our log chart of every day. And kids were so responsible. So when they are outside, they are also getting responsible. They learn to be responsible. So, and it is a controlled environment. This is the little bunny that one of my students brought as bunny baby, and we got, and I acknowledged and appreciated his thought for the bunny. And once I got it, he was the one who I had to spend a lot of money buying the cage, the bedding, and all that kind of stuff. But learning for the children was a lot. They learn how the bunny grew bigger and how much the needs were more. And that's how later we decided that the bunny needs a friend, the bunny needs a bigger home, and he needs to be in a farm where he can run around wildly. So we contacted some of the farms, and one of the farm people accepted that, yes, you can bring the bunny to us because they lost their bunny. So we had a trip, our trip to the farm, and we all went there, where this little girl is exploring chicken that you cannot have in the house in America, usually, unless you have a very huge land. So they were watching the chicken, and they explained that where they will keep the bunny and what they will eat and how they will be letting him out in a bigger and larger area. So that's how we left our bunny in the farm, and children were very happy. They asked so many questions. Where will they sleep? Where will they eat? Where are their mommy and daddy? And all the questions that were coming to their mind, they asked the farm people. When we take the children to the zoo, this is also an indirect contact, form of a contact with nature. Usually parents take the children to the zoo and they just are on their phones or chit-chatting, and the children are exploring and running around and watching the animals. But do we realize that parents need to be with them to explain certain things and to enjoy the things with them and the animals and the surroundings with children? In the first slide, you see mom is busy with her own thing, and the child is really keen to learn about the butterflies. So I was there and I talked to her that what do you think? Give them open-ended questions. What do they think? Let them say something, what they are thinking. So then provide them the answers, or let them explore, so I picked her up and I let her see that how the butterflies are eating the sweetened water and all that stuff. And in the other slide, I was explaining to the young boy about the polar bears. And both the fathers came and they said, oh, wow, there is so much of information, we never realized it. And that's how we have to talk to the children, not just leave them, wild and say, okay, they experience the nature. That's not how it is. The third form of contact with nature is a vicarious contact, which is not very good. Does not involve any contact with actual living organisms or environment. It's a symbols of natural world, teddy bear, the big bad wolf, Mickey Mouse, through film and media depiction of real world. As I mentioned, that nowadays we see the nature through the eyes of media, TV, and technology, or the books. But is it right? Is it the real nature? Actually, no. Children hold teddy bears and other animals and make up stories about real world. Nowadays, mass communication technology has produced an abundance depiction of natural images. So the children see natural world through the media, which is not right. Children see more of technological images of natural world than to experience it physically. People worry that such vicarious experience is rapidly replacing the more direct and spontaneous forms of childhood contact with the natural world. So many accidents have happened. You might have heard that there was a very tragic accident in America, in Chicago Zoo, where the child was so much keen, and I don't know what he was doing. Must be that he was with the gorilla. He was just pulling himself out, and he fell into the cage of a gorilla. And that must have been an extremely worrisome and sad situation when the gorilla was pulling the little child, and they had to put the gorilla to sleep, the security people and the zookeepers, and save the child. But can you imagine, children think that, oh, this gorilla, this is the cutest, and I can hold him and I can jump in and I can hug him. But that's not how it is. It's the opposite. If they do not experience the real side of the world and learn about the real natural world, that's how they're gonna talk about. I had that kind of an experience when my son was little. I gave him, I'm very paranoid about the teething rings. So I said something is gonna stuck into their mouth. So I gave him a rubber snake, a big rubber snake. And I was very happy. I was just 22. And I said, okay, now he's not gonna choke. So he was just rubbing his teeth over it and biting on it. So I was very happy. But my papa came and he said, what are you doing? And what did you give it to him? And I said, this is a snake rubber thing. So he's teething, so he's not gonna choke on it. But actually, my father said, do you realize that what if in Pakistan and in other areas of our kind of places, like in your Egypt, there are more snakes. So what if he sees a snake and he'll pick it up and put it in his mouth? And that made me think. And I said, yes, you're really right. So exactly, this is what I did the mistake, and I never did it again. So this is vicarious contact of nature, that I gave him the snake, but is the snake so calm or so cute that you can eat it? No. Children just hold teddy bears and they think that, oh, they are the cutest, and actually this is not how it is. They big bad wolves, the Mickey Mouse, all those kind of things, the depictions of the natural world, they are not true. Children are little explorers. They learn best through hands-on experience and nature. Their creativity, their imagination grow wild in nature. Children see the world with their perspective, and we adults have to respect their perspective, their thought, how they are feeling, how they are looking at certain things. Like when I was talking, whenever we go outside for a walk, the children just stop their tricycles and just pick up certain stuff. I don't like to rush them. I say, okay, take your time, but just take it. So gradually I tell them that, okay, it's time to go home, or things like that. How about let's take these things, but don't rush them. Because once we rush them, we say, oh, just put it down, it's yucky, it's not safe, just throw it. You just crush their imagination. You just crush their creativity or exploration. So he said, this looks like a little umbrella. And I said, yeah, you're right. But then he was feeling it. Look how involved this little child is in observing this little mushroom. Let's have a little activity here. You can look at this picture and just jot down on your paper, what do you see in this picture? What are the things? Just jot down the points, as many points as many you can. Usually when I give the presentations here face to face, I give my participants flowers and the real flowers. So, and then once they are done with that, this picture points, I give them the real flowers and I ask them to explain what do they say in the real flowers. And you will be amazed what a big wide difference there are in the points. You maximum will write down 5-6 points. The flower is pink, the brown and orange part is in the middle, the leaves are longer, or they are from the edges, they are darker, and from the tips, they are lighter, right? But when you have the real flower and the real experience in your hand, you will see, you will make plenty of points, like you can break it, the middle part is fuzzy, then you will say the pink leaves are soft, or they smell, the stem can be broken, the stem is fuzzy, the stem is pokey, the flower is sticky. If you break the flower, there can be a smell in your hand. The middle part is, how does that feel? How are the little parts? And if you touch the middle part, the color comes on your hand. So many points and that is the real experience. So you will understand what a difference it makes. Seeing nature through media or through technology, or experiencing it hands-on. So it's a big difference. You will realize how important it is to have the concept of something after seeing it in real. So that's how you will see that the kids feel when they experience it in natural world, in a hands-on experiencing, or seeing it through the media. This is the garden that the other slide showed, and when kids were preparing for the vegetable garden, and they were telling us they were opening the dirt and the manure and bringing their toy pull cart and then throwing the dirt in there. It was all there, though me and my husband were there to assist them, but they were the ones who were planning it. They were the ones who were digging it. Obviously, they cannot dig as hard. So I said, okay, I can help you. And we were part of their team and we were doing it. But actually, they were doing it. And how cooperative they are. And then we can say, okay, the bigger plants, how about put the bigger plants here? Or let's Google it, how to make a vegetable garden. Oh, does it gonna work? Or what plants grow in what season? All learning is going on. All learning is going on. When children are given the opportunity to physically demonstrate action words as they are dropping the dirt or digging or things like that, they are learning their language as well. They're learning it. Right here, like they are jumping and bouncing and swinging on that tree. One day it's a horse. That little boy was pretending to be a cowboy, and this is their horse, and both of them are riding. And they have every day a new story with this tree. So just like I said before, that physical demonstrate opportunity, when we provide them the opportunity to physically demonstrate the action words as jumping, stomping, stalk, or bouncing, or climbing, or things like that. So, and the tree was rough, and it is hard, it is pokey, it is these words are the comprehension is immediate and long lasting. So they are learning these words. They're learning the language. They're learning and developing their vocabulary. The words are used and learned in context as opposed to being a mere collection of letters. This is what promotes emergent literacy and love of language. That's how they start using the right words, the appropriate words, and how to use them and where to use them. Learning by doing creates more neural networks in the brain and throughout the body, make the entire body a tool for learning. So once they are learning, they're seeing, they are touching, they're moving around, and that's how the whole body becomes a learning tool. And their imagination is growing. So this child was asking me, what is this? And I felt kind of proud that, oh, I'm the teacher. And that was the thing I did. And I said, oh, it's the root of a tree that is right behind him. And he said, I don't think so. I think this is a dragon going on under there. Sorry, it was a video, but I cannot play it because the sound is not going correctly. So otherwise you would have enjoyed listening to this conversation. So he said, no, this is a dragon going underneath the ground. That's his imagination. Outdoor learning activities contribute to cognitive, linguistic, motor, social, emotional development of preschoolers. Letting children experience nature and outdoors benefits the children not only physically, but it helps their brain to recharge, which does produce greater results academically, socially, emotionally, and cognitively. Outdoor learning activities plays a major role in cognitive, linguistic, motor, and social emotional development of preschool children. Nowadays, why children are so angry, so frustrated, so bored. Every time you listen, I'm bored, I'm bored. Why? Because they are totally indoors. Take them outdoors. Hours will pass and it will be hard to bring them in. Just come bring them in. It is, and the learning is right there for life. It can be recommended that outdoor activities given in a framework of a program should be in schools, should be increased in preschool years. They are just reducing, in America, they are reducing the recess time. I do not know much about other countries, but in the schools, they don't give them too much outdoor time. They just focus more, emphasize on academics, just learning and the learning and the learning. No, it is not right. Let them be out. They come back fresh. They come back more focused. They come back more ready for the learning. That's how teachers should be. Teachers should be informed about the benefits of outdoor education, and in their pre and in-service teacher training programs, outdoor education curricula should be included. And it is a must for a teacher to be aware of the benefits of nature learning and outdoor learning. Nature teaches them how to science, mathematics, and language, as well as that nature teaches them STEAM, like science, technology, and engineering, and mathematics. All of it. This is the same garden that they grew from the very beginning, you saw, and these kids are just now picking up all the vegetables, and this helps them eat healthy also. They learn about it, they eat healthy, the color, the size, the weight, the distance, the chilies, the different tastes, all of it. Sometimes parents do not like certain vegetables, and they say, "Oh, they're eating it." I just say, don't say it in front of them. If you don't like it, don't say it. Don't say it to them. Let them experience. Because if the parents say something that I don't like it or this is bad, they will not touch it. This is how children learn. So we adults have to respect our outdoors and nature. Let them experience. Nature helps in STEAM learning. The sun shines not on us, but through us. The river flows not past, but through us. As John Muir said, you can see how cold the weather is. If they are appropriately dressed up, no weather stops us from going outside and learning from the snow or any of the weathers. And they are just it's a white sand. They're learning it and they love it. Let's talk about your incidents in your life, what you felt when you were a child. How about when you were a baby or a young adult that your memory can go and find that? How did you feel when you were outside and what made you happy? Some of the moments are there. And I always bring the grandparents and parents to our trips and ask them to enjoy and bring back their childhood. How did they feel? Because when they are old, they feel kind of arthritis, pains, and different many other problems that goes on with the age, and they do not want the children to just to run around the children. But when I take them outside and children are doing certain things with me, I just invite the grandparents to just bring back your childhood. And once they do it, they enjoy it and they forget their own pain. They forget their own problem that they were having. And that also helps them in healing and reducing the pain of the body or the mental pain or the emotional crisis, what they went through in life, all that stuff. So just do it. Outdoor play is not only for children, but it is also beneficial for the adults as well. Outdoor play can stimulate physical motor development. As Richard Louv mentions in his book, The Last Child in the Woods, children are very much likely to get nature deficit disorders. And his latest book, the vitamin N, the nature vitamin. And nowadays, doctors are recommending to the people with depression and other problems to have a vitamin N, nature walks. And with the tall tree therapies, when the people are going outdoors among the tall trees, they feel relieved and relaxed. Scientific evidence shows that the direct exposure to nature is essential for physical and emotional healing for children. Exposure to nature reduces attention deficit disorders in children, why? As I said, when they were outside in the stream, bare feet, they were more focused. They were more attentive of what they were doing and of their surroundings. That's how it is. Children will also learn to enjoy nature and respect nature when they are outside with us. Research also shows that people go through, even children nowadays, especially going through the natural disasters, or somebody lost a parent, or somebody is from a broken family, or there's so many things happen in life that can bring them down and make them feel very depressed. Mostly the adults say, oh, children don't feel, oh, they're kids. They have all the emotions. They are complete human being, and we have to respect them accordingly, as that's how they feel. And they have all the emotions that should be acknowledged and that should be recognized. So normal wear and tear, psychological wear and tear can be improved or helped by taking them outdoors in the nature. So it also helps reduce the autistic children. Children living in the areas with more nature around them are more resilient. They can help themselves against stress or adversity. They can accommodate themselves better if they are more outdoors in the nature. There are again several researches that show that children, nature can benefit children with autism and emotionally challenged children. They can be taken outdoors and they can be relaxed much better The risks of challenges of being outdoors provide rich opportunities for learning, problem solving, and developing social competence. Children who are outdoors are better in academics later in their life. They show better cooperative natures. Many factors that lead to many other problems not being outdoors also are related with not being outdoors. Like in the schools nowadays we say, oh, school is very good, while there is very high child staff ratios. But actually it is not very good, because think about it. You are giving some exam and you're giving the paper, you are writing a paper, and the teacher comes and stands right by you. You will not be able to put all your thoughts down, right? So this is how it is. When it's a high child staff ratio, just 3 child, 1 teacher, and you are there, the child will stop exploring or stop being creative, and they will just be. And sometimes, mostly, the teacher will also start saying certain things and imposing their ideas. That will lead to minimization of risk taking place. Let them take risks. This will lead to a better evaluation of risk situations in their life. They will have better judgments later. External regulations restricting activities. Inadequate understanding of benefits of risk taking. That is for the teachers. If they have no awareness, lack of awareness of the benefits of nature learning can lead to the minimization of risk taking. Poor outdoor environment, fear of litigation, reduction of opportunities for that will lead to the reduction of opportunities for child chosen risk. Minimization of risk taking will lead to reduction of physical play. They will be just, no, don't, you will fall down, just sit down, don't do this, don't do this. And they will just not do any physical activity. They will reduce it, which will lead to obesity, to high blood pressures, to depression, to reduction of physical activity. That will lead to fewer benefits from physical play, that will underdevelop motor skills, risk of chronic illnesses with low levels of activity. See, and when they minimize risk-taking play, that will lead to the poor evaluation of risk-taking situation, increased injuries. Children who are just on the structured playground, and we say, oh, we have the structured playground, that is good. You're not letting your child take the risk, their kind of risk. So they know that, okay, 5 steps up, walk down, monkey bars, and then come up and then slide. That's how they do it. They know it. But when they are climbing trees, jumping around, rolling down, or stepping or balancing on the rocks, or stepping or balancing on log, the tree stumps, they are judging. They are having their judgment. They're using their judgment. So which will lead to their better judgment and less injuries later in life. Like in this play, they are using all their judgment. I am there. The adult needs to be there, but not just imposing or stopping them. So you just have to be there. This little girl that you see, and she slept from the snow, and then now she is down, but other kids did help her. Come back. As children are using their own judgment to climb up this tree trunk, which is covered with the snow, there are, again, several factors nowadays that restrict child's experience of nature. Main factor is lack of understanding of the benefits of adequate risk-taking. We do not understand. We provide children with structured play environments that may reduce their judgmental skill. When a child is climbing trees, he has to use his own judgment when this branch can break or when can it be stronger. So he is not using his judgmental skills to explore how to reach his destination. Another major factor is of litigation in America, especially. And providers and teachers are scared to get sued, so which is reducing the opportunity of being outdoors, which is leading to their obesity problems and anger problems and depression problems and making children so static. All evidence shows that if we separate nature from human life, it brings cruelty to the hearts and eliminates love and respect and joy from people's heart as well. For our next generation, we all have to get together and become a team to and work hard to keep the light of joy and love within ourselves enlightened. As Lakota says, man's heart away from nature becomes hard. Knew that lack of respect of growing, living things soon lead to lack of respect for humans too. And this is what is happening around the world nowadays. Why we are not respecting each other, why we are not loving each other, why we are not being helpful to others, because we are disconnected from nature. The more we disconnect, the more disruptive we are. Just think about it. If you separate a child from mother, neither the mother is at ease, neither the child is at ease, and they will behave weird. They are desperate. So exactly, this is how, when humans are separated from Mother Nature, this disruption is happening, and this is creating a lot of problems in the world. Nature relaxes everyone. It has music that soothes a crying baby and a sad heart. Think about it. Something happens in life, and or even if you have a fight with your husband or a wife, you just go out for a walk, or just start digging being in your garden or in your plants, and you will feel relaxed. If the baby is just agitated or crying and crying, just take them out for a little walk, and the baby will, not right away, but just in a minute or two, the baby will feel comfortable and just relaxed. It brings back your childhood within you. Don't you ever think that when your child is doing something funny or playing in the sprinkler or jumping in the puddles, you want to do it too, don't you? I do it all the time with my students, with my kids, and with my grandsons. And it is so much fun. It brings back so many memories, beautiful memories, which brings joy to your heart, doesn't it? It brings back your childhood within you. Keep that child within you alive and active. It brings joy to everyone's heart. Nature and human are totally inseparable. Let's write a poem. I love flowers, and they uplift my inner energy and they give me peace. So I picked up the word rose, and you can pick up anything in nature that inspires you. It can be anything. So let's see. I picked up the word rose. Rising sun in the sky opens a window to heaven, shines so bright as light of heaven, showers equally upon everyone who lives on this universe. This is my poetry, and then you can practice it, and that will make you feel connected to that part of nature that you select. It can be a bug, it can be a water drop, it can be sunshine, it can be anything that you like or that touches your heart. Imagine we are all in the woods and are part of nature. Relax and let's listen to this song that my dear friend Joseph Cornell gave it to me. And if Ismet can unmute you, you all can sing with me, and I will deeply enjoy it. You all can read or listen to this, please.
Yes. That's clear
The
now.
birds of you all can sing with me. Birds are my
Can hear it?
brothers,
Yes.
all flowers my sisters, the trees are my friends, all living creatures, mountains and streams, I take unto my care. For this green earth is our mother, and in the sky is the spirit above. I share one life with all who are here. To everyone I give my love. To everyone I give my love. The birds of the air are my brothers. All the flowers my sisters, the trees are my friends. All living creatures, mountains and streams, I take unto my care. For this green earth is our mother. Hidden in the sky is the spirit above. I share one life with all who are here. To everyone I give my love. To everyone I give my love. Thank you very much for being here today with me and taking out time to listen to me. I have all these works cited references, and you can feel free to ask me. My contact number is here, my telephone number is here. Anytime you want to have some resources, any part of my PowerPoint, I am here to help you, assist you, and thank you very much. You enjoy your life being outdoors. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Many thanks, Mrs. Sima. Many thanks to you, Mrs.
Thank you so much.
We were
Yes.
so interesting in your session, and we are enjoying it. Really,
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
for your awesome and informative presentation. And we had so much fun with nature items and your song as well at the end.
Thank you.
Can summarize what
Thank you so much.
the imbuance.
Say it again, please.
Today we learned more about children as they are a little explorers, and what amazing about nature. In nature, they can be affected by increasing their creativity, innovation, values, feeling collaborative. All of these soft skills we need in the 21st century. You also, Mrs. Sima, you told us about the importance of nature in exploring the mysterious of the world, and so we should let our children become part of the nature. And also we have known about how children enjoy being outdoors through various contact with nature to improve their cognitive, linguistics, motor, and social emotional development as well in preschool stage. As well as you told us about a quote. I admired it. The more they interact with nature, the better learners they are. In this moment, I have remembered what Albert Einstein said, that look deep into nature and you will understand everything better. So
Right. Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
thank you so much, Mrs. Sima Ibrahim from USA. You are most welcome today in Early Childhood Education Foundation under Director Dr. Muhammad Khalifa. And we thank all participants today. Now, if anyone wants to ask Mrs. Sima before the end, any questions about nature and experience with nature in early childhood?
Right.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm pleased to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sima. We really enjoyed your session. What amazing.
Thank you so much, Ismat, and everybody participating here and giving us the opportunity to speak and just spread our words and our thoughts. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Anyone who wants to ask me anything, please feel free to ask.
Any questions now to Mrs. Sima? Yes, so your presentation.
Ismail, if you can share the game, that interview with nature that I sent for you, or I can send it to you and you can share it with everyone that you want. The interview with nature. This is a kind of an activity they can do, or the other PowerPoint handout that I sent to you. You can share it with anyone. Also, if anybody wants to have any resources or the books about the games of Joseph Cornell, please Google Joseph Cornell Flow Learning, and that will come out. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm a member of Nature Sharing Nature Foundation, and we just promote those games that we did it when we were very young. And you will find it so interesting that everybody, you can involve grandparents and parents and children of all ages. I say children are from 0 to 100 years of age. At the age of 101, we become toddlers. So keep that child alive within you. So we are all children.
Yes, many thanks, Mrs. Sima. We thank you so much today to be with us in ECAF, and hope you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So with this, I think we conclude. Nobody has any questions?
Yes, your presentation was more clear to them, so they can't ask more. Everything is clear. Anyone want to ask Mrs. Sima any question? Yes, so thanks again, Mrs. Sima.
Most of them are done.
Many thanks to all participants today in Early Childhood Education Foundation. We are so pleased to be with you and with Mrs. Sima Ibrahim from USA with her title Experience with Nature and Outdoor Play Enhance Social Emotional Language Development in Children. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sima.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for giving me the chance to speak here at this platform. And thank you to Dr. Mohammed for organizing, and Dr. Ismat and Nancy for the whole team for organizing this. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Many thanks and appreciation to you. Bye-bye.